Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Living on Lemonade podcast. I decided to be proactive this week and record a couple episodes because September is always a busy month for me, it seems. My birthday month and just kind of winding down from busy season at work. And there just always seems to be a lot of socializing and stuff too. So I thought I'll record a couple episodes, pre-schedule them, and then kind of be able to keep on top of it. So I've made time today, and at the time of this recording, it is September 13th. It's my birthday today. I'm officially 34, and I was going to record. Well, I had started recording a couple days ago, and then my mom called. So, and I was in between night shifts. So then I just thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm tired. I'm gonna record this later. And I think it's worked out well. I think this is a good time because I'm kind of like in the moment again. So I can be raw and vulnerable. And I think there's just something I think that's important in this time, in this day and age, especially in this day and age. I think if I can show up and be together enough to deliver the message in my own rawness, I think there's some power to that. So the reason I had started recording it a couple days ago was I was in between night shifts. I had just gone, excuse me, sorry, it's like 10:30 p.m. tonight, so I'm ready for bed. I had just gone for some walk. I've been trying to get some movement in every day. Now today it's this first time pretty much this month. I think I really started being very intentional on September 2nd. Like every single day I would get at least my 5,000 steps. And today is the first day I didn't, but you'll understand why soon. Anyway, I went for a walk, and because when I'm in between nights, I sleep until like 12:31 p.m. and then I'm up for a couple hours, which at that time sometimes I'm like doing laundry or I'm cleaning up the kitchen or doing some of the stuff around the house or just like catch up with other things. And then I'm laying down again for a night shift. So I thought I'm gonna go for a walk. I don't have a lot of time. There were a couple other things I needed to do that day. I don't know if I needed to run a couple errands or what that was, but I thought I'll kind of kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna walk to the post office, I'll grab mail, and I'll get some exercise because it's about a 15-minute walk one way. So that gives me 30 minutes of movement, which is pretty good when I'm only awake for a couple hours. So I did that. And when I got to the post office, I opened the box and it hit me. And I hadn't even thought about it. And this is an episode on grief. But I had some birthday cards and it hit me right in that moment. It was like, holy shit. My Aunt Shirley, who she was always the first one to send cards out, right? Anyone who got cards from my Aunt Shirley, always that she was the first one. You would get your birthday card first from her. And it just like, I feel like I've been busy with life and work. And to be honest, like lately I've been in a better place emotionally and mentally, and really just kind of soaking it in because it's been hard and dark for a long time. And I'm like, part of me feels guilty because of the depth of the losses, and it's complicated, right? But I'm giving myself grace because I deserve to be happy. My loved ones would want me to be happy. They wouldn't want me sulking. But I think anyone who has had a significant loss also understands the guilt around the happy days, right? And I've been particularly in a much better place and like doing things very soul-led and intentional lately. So, but I realized when I grabbed mail, that my last birthday was unknowingly the last birthday I would ever receive a birthday card from my Aunt Shirley. And her 1 year is coming up on the 28th, and it's just, yeah, it hit me. And there's part of me, I think, just because I was so deep in from losing my dad like 4 months before she died suddenly, that I didn't feel like I had really launched into grieving her. And it really didn't, the reality didn't come until Easter weekend. And I remember recording an up podcast episode that weekend when it was real all of a sudden, because Easter is like, I think of her, this, I think of my aunt, I think of Easter and like early birthday cards. And so it's those little things that you're just like going about your day or going about your life, maybe in a better place mentally, emotionally. And then it's just one of those things happens. And so I think it's safe to say, and it's okay, I've been weepy the last few days just thinking about that and rolling with the the grief punches, I guess you could say. And along with that, of course, is thinking about my dad and how I would give anything to get a phone call or a text message from him. I don't need another card. I love his cards. I still have some. I'll even read a couple to you, but yeah, it's been a tough couple days. I know that night at work, I definitely had some silent tears rolling down my face, and the last couple losses, because they were just two of my favorite people. I found that my grief has been a little bit different in that I don't remember in the past just how easily the tears just start running down my face, almost effortlessly. Like I'm just thinking about something and I'm sad, but the tears, they just start rolling. I don't I don't have to try. Um, and I mean, the moment when I realized I wouldn't be getting another card from my aunt, it was profound in a way, but it really, this last couple of days has been subtle also. Like it's kind of hard to explain. Um, I guess the when I think about it, I guess the best way is just to, it's like I get in those moments, and I think because I've been keeping myself busy and I've been focusing on moving my body, and every morning since I think the same day, like September 2nd, I think that's really where I kind of made a shift, and I'm being very intentional. Every morning now before I get out of bed or check social media or anything, I listen to a morning meditation. And it's Rebecca Campbell's morning meditation. It's beautiful. I love her. I love her stuff. I love her books. I love her oracle decks. I just love her teachings. And it's a beautiful way to start the morning before all the hustle and bustle of the day. Um, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, I've been so intentional. So I haven't necessarily been wallowing in anything in particular. I have my sad moments where I miss them, but nothing has really put me in a funk lately. I have my moments and I carry on, and that's okay. And I think especially when we're focusing on the, when we have those nudges, those intuitive hits of like what, those whispers of like what we need to be doing. So that's why I've been bringing in movement. I've gained a lot of weight back after losing my dad, and I'm just like, I'm so incredibly uncomfortable in my skin right now. Things don't fit nicely or comfortably, and anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm ready, because when I look in the mirror, I see the grief, right? I see that that's how the weight looks, feels on me. I see it as the grief of what I held on to, or just turning to sweets and stuff when I was sad and not moving. I wasn't moving my body, right? So it's easier to put on weight that way. And I'm not shaming myself. It is frustrating. I have my like pity party days sometimes. where I get frustrated because I'm just like, ah, I'm so uncomfortable in my skin. But at the end of the day, um, if the weight that I've put on and now will work at losing is the sacrifice or whatever the product of like the horrible over a year, I'd say year and a half that has I've lived through and survived. I mean, it's to me, it's a really a small price to pay. I've put weight on, I've lost weight. I just need to change my mindset and really stay focused on wellness. It's not just about like fitting into a certain size, but I can tell you that I had lost some weight before my dad passed when we got married really quickly. Um, I was feeling so good. I had so much energy. I was feeling confident. I hadn't been that way in a long time. And so that's what it's about for me. It's about feeling healthy, not having joint pain and, feeling like I'm huffing and puffing trying to hike or whatever. So it's about the quality of life. And then the one of the byproducts for that is I'm feeling confident. I feel comfortable in my skin. So I know it'll be a journey and I want it to be a lifestyle change. I'm not going to jump on any diets or anything. But anyway, I'm kind of getting off track. But my point was with that, when we're focusing on those things, we sometimes lose track of the grief, right? And that one that hit me. It hit me in a really soft spot. And it's not like I started crying in the post office or anything, but I can kind of feel it right now. It's like with those profound losses, there's just like this deep, deep feeling of grief inside. And then it starts to come up. Not necessarily, I'm not like choking on it, but this just it started to rise to the surface and it's been doing that over the last couple days. So I have sat in front of the computer at work and just like tears streaming down. And I get to the point sometimes I've had to step outside a couple times, walk down the hall by myself. And it's just like I haven't had a good cry in a little bit as well. I think I can also peg it to that because I've been a person that's um I'm very in tune with like when I need an emotional release and I will do things that will what's the word? Like get it going. I can't think of the word right now. But like spark it. There's a better word. I just can't think of it. And I will intentionally, like when I start to feel I'm like, oh, I haven't had a good cry in a while, I can feel it building up and I'm just sometimes I get some kind of irritable and just I'm not myself. So I'll do something to trigger it and just like open the floodgates and I'll watch a movie that I know will make me cry or whatever. But I haven't done that in a bit. I just feel like it's been kind of go 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 between work and just enjoying my time off at the boat with Eric, and we've done a couple boat adventures. So I just haven't had that stillness. And so it's caught up with me basically in the last couple days. Um, and sometimes the tears are subtle and they're just streaming down my face. And I'm just kind of letting it release. I really believe that we're meant to feel our emotions. That's how we kind of process our experiences and our grief. By bottling it up, it's not gonna help us. It's gonna cause illness basically in the long run and dis-ease. But there's also been waves where it's like it's hard to explain unless you've lived it and you live it. But just the depth of the grief and the emotion and it comes up and it's just like it wants out. But it's when you have those deep, deep cries of like you hold your breath in between the like sobs. And I've had that stuff coming up. Yeah, I had that feeling like on the way home. On the way home, I was going to stop for gas and I just was like, I said out loud, I'm like, Dad, I just want to call you. I just want to text you. Like I was watching some of the interview footage. I recorded of him in those last few weeks, and we didn't finish. We got some good stuff, but not nearly it's never enough, right? But I am grateful for what I have, and just, like, seeing him on the screen, and it's like, I just wanna reach out. I was thinking about what it felt like to hug him, and, like, I just wish I could hear from him on my birthday. And to kinda get to the main point of this podcast, so I'm not rambling too long and, like, crying in your ear, but the duality and the simultaneous grief and gratitude that can happen in the same moments. Um, I always encourage, and I feel like I've embodied it. I don't I hope that other people see it too, but looking for those small moments and gratitude. I so search for, like, things. I try to be mindful of things that I can be grateful for. It could be just a green light if I'm kinda running late, it's like, "Ah, thank you." And just all the little things, all the little blessings in life, I look for them because we all need heart hugs. And today was one of them. With it being my birthday, I've received so many beautiful messages. I've received text messages, Facebook messages, voice notes, like just the most beautiful messages from friends. And I haven't had an opportunity yet to reply to people, and I'll sit down and intentionally do that. But I read these messages and it's like it hugs my heart, and one of the voice messages, like, mm, tears welled up in my eyes, and I just felt like I wish I could show you or make you feel, like, the gratitude and the joy in my heart, and how loved I felt today, and how loved I often feel from those around me. I try to we reciprocate, and that's the beauty of building your tribe. Um, but at the same time, just feeling this profound loss and this profound grief, and just, like, having those moments where it's like, life's kinda not fair right now because a couple of my favorite people aren't here, and my birthday would be so special, so, like, extra special if I could hear from them. Um, but the gratitude isn't lost on me. I got to drive down to my mom's today. I still have my mom. I'm so grateful for that. And my grandma's 100. I got to pick her up from the nursing home, bring her back to my mom's, hang out for a bit. My mom dyed my hair, so if you see the video, like, from the YouTube channel, once I finally get it up, my hair's kind of purple. It's bad lighting here, but it is kind of purple. And just hanging out with my granny, we went into town and went to the casino for an hour with her. She just loves it. I love watching her. And then my husband even drove down after work, and we all met up for dinner for my birthday. So, like, the little things that are the big things, the joy, the inspiration, the gratitude, is it fills my heart in a way that can make me cry with gratitude. Um, and then in the same moments, I'm like, "Dad, why aren't you here? Why can't I get a card from my aunt? And how is it almost been a year since she died?" It's like, so if you're going through a time where you're having these, like, opposite end spectrum feelings, I just want you to know that it's okay. You can feel both. Please feel both. Feel the grief and know that you're allowed to feel it. You don't have to feel guilty. We can have those feelings sometimes. I know I do. But feel the grief, because we have to move through it in order to keep putting one foot in front of the other. We have to acknowledge how we feel and know that it's valid, and we can still feel like our heart is full at the same time somehow. I don't know, how can our heart feel full and freaking bone dry, like, yearning for these people, these loved ones at the same time? I'll never be able to fully explain it. I just know that there's dualities in life, and sometimes they collide in the same moments, and we just kind of have to, like, keep moving, I guess, or pause. You can take a time to pause if you need a moment. I have the last couple days, just like let it pass through me. But yeah, it's a journey. So anyway, I think I'm gonna end this episode, but I wanted to kind of get that off my chest. It's been a beautiful birthday. My granny's she's getting pretty forgetful, but she's 100, so it's okay. So I had to she found out like it's like she found out 8 times it was my birthday today. So that was kind of cute. But I can't imagine in this circumstance. Obviously, I'd rather have my dad be able to call me and my aunt, get a card from her. But in the current circumstance, I couldn't have really had a better day being able to hang out with my mom and my grandma and feel so much love around me. So thank you to everyone who's reached out and just hugged my heart today because, yeah, birthdays are tough. This is my second birthday without my dad. Haven't cried as much, but it's still a toughie. Actually, you know what I said earlier, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I did say earlier I would read a couple of the cards. I have them saved from last year. So one of the cards, and it's funny because my dad always sent like the sappy cards, and I always kind of was like, oh, what a big dork. But I'm so appreciative of these really heartfelt cards that he sent me because they feel like love letters in the aftermath of losing him, and they're cards that I can look back on and just like feel the essence of him again and feel like he's still hugging me from where he is. So this one said, Dear daughter, and he had written Lauren at the top here. And it says, I don't often tell you how much it means to have a daughter like you, how it's hard to imagine what life would be like without you, without our talks and special times. If you weren't my daughter, one second. If you weren't my daughter, something very special would be missing because having you is one of the best things that ever happened to me. Happy birthday. With love, Dad. And then he also, one of my other ones that I saved was to a message to my daughter, has butterflies on the cover. And it says, I want you to know that in my heart, you're always with me. Not a day goes by when I don't think about you, care about you, and wish good things for you. How lucky I am to have a wonderful daughter like you. With love on your birthday and always. And it says, Happy birthday, Lauren. I love you, Dad, 2012. So if you keep a few cards from your loved ones, one day they'll become memories, but they'll become tangible items that you can look back on and read when you need those extra heart hugs. And I am so grateful that my dad sent me those beautiful messages, and it feels like he's still speaking to me. And with that, I think I'll say goodnight. And I hope everyone's doing well. I'm sending you love. If you need a heart hug, I'm sending you big hugs. If you're going through a rough time, I get it. There's good days, there's bad days. And we just need to take a breath every once in a while and cry the tears if they come up. And just know that there are better moments ahead with people we love. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.